Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Right around the second happy, I was like, what day is it, Nick? Just keep saying happy until you remember it.
Gotta keep going with it.
Boy, it's been a long week already. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the morning show.
Wednesday?
Thank you so much for joining us again. I'm Nick Scarpino, your host. With me today is Joey Noel. Joey.
Hi.
Say hi to everyone. Everyone say hi to Joey. Cool. Now
Good
that
job.
we've got that out of the way. Lots of fun things this week. I've crammed so many things into this week. Your mic's pointed downward. First off, we need that to be pointed the other way.
Yeah.
So let's. Okay, Kevin. We can't cut to the one. Now we're just gonna watch you do this.
Just watch.
There you go. Lots of fun things coming up. Of course, I've been preparing mentally, physically, and spiritually for my show over at Cobb's Thursday.
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
It's the final
I'm saying
countdown.
Thursday because if I say tomorrow, I won't
it'll
sleep
stress you
tonight.
out. Okay.
Yeah, just Thursday.
Thursday.
So that's thing number one that I'm very, very excited about. Of course, I don't know if there's tickets still, but I'm just going to tell you to go to cobbscomedy.com, and if you guys want to come out for that, the show is at 8 p.m. It's going to be super fun. A lot of people have been texting me that they're coming, which I think is really fun. So at the very least, I'll get to see everyone, and it'll be cool, and you guys will get drunk, and you won't remember it that well.
Okay.
So
remember your set. And then.
I'm just saying in general.
We won't remember any of it, Nick.
Just get super, super duper hammered. Of course, if you guys did not know, we do this show every day, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. It is a live show. You guys can be in the chat right now like so many of you are, just like TARDIS Blue is. He says, hi, Joey. Say hi back to TARDIS. There you go. His name's Nick?
His name's Nick.
How do you know this thing? You have like a Rubicon.
I do.
Of all these, it's like Nick. So come watch that if you guys get a chance. Of course, there are some of you over in other countries or other parts of the world where this is maybe not your morning. This might be your evening. Well, guess what? We love YouTube. We got you covered. This goes to YouTube every day over at youtube.com/kindoffunny, which is great because so many of you have been subscribing. We are almost at 228,000 subscribers. If you don't subscribe to that channel, you should. We put up lots of cool things. Just like yesterday, we put up our review of The Incredible Hulk, the 2008 classic, starring Edward Norton, Liv Tyler, and Tim Roth, who went straight to TV after that. He was just like, I'm done with movies. This was it. I'm going straight to TV, and I'm going to tell you whether or not you're lying. Didn't he do that show where he was like, I'm a human lie detector? Like, what? That's weird.
Sorry.
That's
the
okay.
idea of being a human lie detector is kind of cool.
Yeah, the show
Weird.
changes. Either way, so if you guys didn't know, we're doing this. This is one of my favorite new series that we're doing. I can't fucking tell you how much I love this. It's called MCU in Review, once a week, starting last week, with Iron Man. This week with Hulk. Next week, I believe we're doing Iron Man 2. We are going to review every MCU movie leading up to Infinity War.
Yeah.
And it's going to be great.
I know. I haven't watched the first two, mostly because I forgot, and
Dude,
I'm not on the show, so I don't
Too busy watching Grease 2 over and over and over again.
Yes, exactly. But I want to jump in for the rest of them, especially because I've seen Iron Man 1 a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't really care about the Hulk.
it was so much better than
really?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's fun going back and watching the old ones, especially like now that we have some hindsight, now that we have some perspective on where everything's going.
Exactly what the roadmap is.
Specifically, watching The Incredible Hulk was fun because they did that, and I think there was a distinct, they looked at it and they were like, that's definitely not what we want to do.
Yeah.
Let's go in a totally different direction with the Hulk. Let's make the Hulk more of a side character, more of if he's going to be in a movie, it's going to be like a Thor Ragnarok where it's not just the Hulk. Because I think that they, on some level, maybe it's not that they realize this, but it's hard to make a standalone Hulk movie.
Yeah.
They did, if you remember, 2 almost back to back, and both of them didn't do that well.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because the Hulk is an unfortunately fated character to begin with. Like his destiny.
Were they
is,
done back to back, or were they done 5 years apart?
Oh, they were 5 years apart. I'm saying in the grand scheme of all of humanity,
got it.
all the hundreds of thousands of years.
Do we really need
humans
2
back to
Hulk
back
movies within 5 years?
Well, we got a lot
first
of
Hulk movie
that.
was
You
so
have to remember,
bad.
you have to put it in context. That's when we were just like, let's spitball. What are we doing? What do we do with Batman?
Shotgun.
Wanna put some nipples on the costume? Let's do Batman. No, that's horrible. Let's go with a really hardcore Batman.
When he pulls out the bat card.
Never leave home.
Oh,
Don't leave the
man.
cave without it.
Noted.
Is that what he said?
Something like that,
Jesus, George Clooney. You have to wear that one. You got to own that one, George Clooney.
I kind of like the campiness of it, but that's another conversation.
Some people do. Some people liked the direct difference between that and Batman Returns, but those people would be wrong. So that's happening. Go over to youtube.com/kindoffunny if you guys are at all interested in that. If you want to get on the hype train with us, it's left the station, and you guys can jump on it anytime you want. Just like Harry Potter. Other than that, what else am I pimping out today? Tomorrow. Okay, so I said today, yesterday, but I screwed up. I've been all messed up with my timing here. Tomorrow, Thursday morning show, Yusef is coming on. We were talking Jackman off. Now here's what I did this morning.
What did you do this morning?
I went to a trainer who I've seen before, who measured me about a year ago. Actually, a little more than a year ago. It was in 2016. It was November 2016.
Okay.
Got the measurements from there. Now, granted, I've only been working with Yusef for the last 6 months, but I wanted some level of comparison.
Yeah.
Got my measurements, got my body fat percentage, got my weight, got all this stuff done, and so I'm going to be going over those results tomorrow. And then with Yusef, I want to set some like what should be the end result, what should be the goal for everyone, and then we can check in on that. Yeah. Mine, I think I'm leaning right now toward body fat percentage for me because I weigh 10 pounds more than I used to, but my waist is smaller, my arms are bigger, and my thighs are bigger. Ass still the same though, my ass right there. So I've put on some muscle, so we can extrapolate from that I've put on some muscle and lost some fat, which is good because 20% body fat is actually, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
Getting there.
It's getting there. So I think I'll tell you guys what my goal is tomorrow. Be thinking, if you guys want to check in with that, if you want to be a part of this, of course you can come in whenever you want, or you can just watch and be inspired by it, or you can make fun of me, it doesn't matter. But be thinking around those numbers of like, what might be your metric for success? And we'll talk about that tomorrow, and it'll be fun. Along with, what I'm thinking to do, because I want to get a little bit more stringent and hardcore about my diet and tracking my macronutrients, things like that.
All that goodness.
So all that goodness, we can see that, and I actually legitimately want to like start doing before and after pictures, which I hate because I hate taking my shirt off. I do not like taking my shirt off. I don't want to post those. I don't want those anywhere on the internet right now. There's only one picture of me with my shirt off, and my wife has it. No, she doesn't even have it. She won't even take it. I wouldn't even give it to her. So that's going to be happening tomorrow. That's super fun. And that is it for all of that. Subscribe, yada, yada. Oh, the store. Of course, today's episode is brought to you by kindafunny.com/store. The hoodie is selling very, very well. Thank you guys all out there. It's a fun hoodie. It's a great piece of merch.
I love it.
If you guys want it, go over there and get it. It's pre-order only right now. Can people still pre-order it?
You can still pre-order it. I talked with our merch people today, and it looks like we're going to have to put in another order because you guys like it so much. So some of the sizes right now are sold out, but those should be back in stock.
We're trying to get those back in stock
today.
ASAP. They needed approval from us as to whether or not we wanted to print more, to do more of an order. Thanks, Goldberg.
But if you go to kindafunny.com/store and you click notify me when it's back in stock, it'll let you know when those sizes are back. Cool. So that way you don't have to worry about it.
And I like this. And it's weird to be doing the pre-order stuff like this, but for me it's cool because that means we can change out the merch a little bit more and bring you guys more new stuff. So that's exciting for me because I get complacent very quickly. And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this. Let's get new things, new things. Joe.
Yes.
You ready to go into some stories?
I'm very excited.
Let's bring up the first story. You threw this on.
I did.
Here. And this is a hot button topic right now. This is from VanityFair.com. Says Mark Wahlberg made $1.5 million for all the money in the world reshoots. Michelle Williams made less than $1,000. So this is that's a little bit of a discrepancy right there, especially given that Mark Wahlberg, while one of the leads, I would say Michelle Williams clearly the lead of that movie.
I haven't seen it yet, so I feel like I'm missing.
Seen it. By the way, I should preface: I really like this movie. Obviously, this is extenuating circumstances because if you remember, this is Ridley Scott coming in about, I think it was 6 weeks before the movie was set and said, I can do this, we're doing this. We are not going to release this movie with Kevin Spacey in it because it will tank the movie because of all the Kevin Spacey controversies. Yeah. So he went to his producers and the financiers and said, I need a little bit more money, but I can do this. And they were basically like,
crazy turnaround.
But then what choice do they have? It's either
totally
that or it goes the route of Louis C.K.'s last movie but Louis C.K.'s last movie didn't cost nearly as much as this damn thing did. So they organized the reshoots. They're able to get everyone back. Everyone, of course, all the actors are like, yeah, of course we're going to come back because it's the right thing to do, A, and B. If not, the movie doesn't come out. And that's not good for anyone involved, especially all the hundreds of people that worked on it in the back end.
Yeah.
So they come back. But seeing this is very interesting, especially coming off of all the Kat Sadler stuff that we saw at the Golden Globes, right?
Yeah,
E! News, if you guys aren't familiar with this story, Kat Sadler left E! News because she found out that Jason Kennedy, her co-host, is making a significant amount more money than she is.
Yeah.
And so I think it's fascinating to me because when you talk about the pay gap, right? There's a lot of factors that play into it, especially in the corporate world. That I'm not as familiar with as here. In the Hollywood,
in entertainment,
perceived value is a weird thing, right? And it's definitely hard to quantify. If you were to ask me, hey, who's more valuable to the art, the world of making movies? Michelle Williams
Yeah.
or Mark Wahlberg? If you were to put two numbers out there, $1,000 and $1.5 million, and then two names underneath them, and you said, Nick, draw a line to the one that you think is more representative of that person's like
playing the
ability
Hollywood
to
supermarket
act.
sweep. Which one would you pick, Nick?
I don't know,
Really?
but it would probably be Michelle Williams, $1.5 million.
I think-
I talk a lot of shit about Mark Wahlberg. I love Mark Wahlberg, and I specifically liked him a lot in this movie. I thought he did a great job, but I don't. Like, I think this is a perfect example of he's got a better agent than she does, and
Don't
had
they
them
have
over the coals.
Do they not have the same agent?
I didn't read the story. We can go into this in a second, but I will tell you this.
I literally just
Joey
remembered
put the story
that.
on. I didn't put the story because I was late today because I was
Got it.
pumping iron. But I will say this. To be fair, Mark Wahlberg, I think, had more scenes with Christopher Plummer than she
that
did.
makes more sense.
So
of like,
that makes a little bit more sense. I don't know how much she had to come back in for this,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing since it's been printed on Vanity Fair, it's not a good thing. Let's go through and read the story. When Ridley Scott first revealed, this is written by who wrote this? Johanna Desta said, when Ridley Scott first revealed that he was reshooting All the Money in the World in order to replace the disgraced actor Kevin Spacey, it seemed like an act of artistic righteousness. Scott declared that he was waiving any additional directing fees as was his cast in order to restore integrity to the film nearly derailed by allegations of sexual misconduct by Kevin Spacey. As the world recently learned, though, his harmonious act of cinematic charity actually was too good to be true. USA Today reports that Michelle Williams, the lead actress of the film, was paid less than $1,000 to do additional scenes, while her co-star Mark Wahlberg was paid a hefty $1.5 million. If you guys remember, of course, I'm gonna take a break right here. And I want everyone to pause this, and I want everyone to go back to when it was discovered that Mark Wahlberg was the highest paid actor of 2016. He got paid $65 million. I think it was somewhere
a dark day.
$65 million to act. Let's pick the story back up. When you do some sad division, you'll find that Michelle Williams reportedly made less than 1% of Wahlberg's purported fee. She was paid $80 per diem and her portion of the shoot, which lasted about a week, according to USA Today. The paper writes that Williams did not know Wahlberg's team negotiated a much higher fee for the reshoots, even though both performers are represented by the same agency, William Morris Endeavor. Now, to be fair, agents don't always talk to each other,
Exactly.
and it's not in their. So backing up, I read the formation of CAA, the book called Powerhouse, which is the formation of CAA. And one of the principles that they founded that company on, that agency on, was transparency between the agents. Because prior to that, at William Morris, where they all left, every agent acted on their own on an island. So if you had a client, and I needed that client for something, it was considered taboo for me to walk into your office and be like, hey, you represent Ridley Scott, I represent Wahlberg, let's put these two people in a room together. I'm sure that has since changed.
Yeah.
But your agent, let's be honest, his livelihood is directly tied to the percentage of your wages.
Yeah.
So it behooves that person to push for $1.5 million, because if I'm not mistaken, the standard agency fee is between 10 to 15%. So if you push for that, if Ridley Scott comes to you and says, we really need Mark Wahlberg, and you see an opportunity to make your client some money, you're also putting some money in your pocket.
A little bit self-serving.
For maybe, I don't know, I can't imagine how much work it took to renegotiate that contract or negotiate that portion of it.
Yeah.
But you made $150,000 to do it. So
Not bad. On top of whatever.
I can't say I blame the agent for that. Now, Michelle Williams' agent and Michelle Williams seems like they did the right thing here.
Yeah.
Not financially, but the right thing, which was to say, let's keep the integrity of the film intact, and I will come back to it. I'll keep reading the story. Paper writes that Williams did not know. Yeah, in a previous interview with USA Today, Williams said that she was quick to sign on for All the Money in the World reshoots. Quote, they could have my salary, they could have my holiday, whatever they wanted, she said, because I appreciate so much that they were making this massive effort. Williams and her co-star Christopher Plummer, who replaced Spacey, were ultimately nominated for Golden Globes for their performance. Per the Washington Post, Wahlberg and his team have developed a reputation for driving a tough bargain in the industry, which is likely what led him to such a high payday. And I'm guessing being one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid actor in Hollywood.
Probably helps.
$65 million, Joe.
That's a lot.
To act. You could pay me a tenth of that, and I'll do whatever the fuck you want me to do on camera. As you've seen over the last year. The Forbes list I'll read this last paragraph just so I get it's $68 million to act. Wahlberg, it seems, was dedicated to maintaining his reputation as the highest paid actor in the world. Forbes declared that status last August, reporting that the Transformers star made $68 million last year, besting former title holders like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. The Forbes list of the highest paid actors and actresses in Hollywood have painted a stark picture of the gender wage gap in the industry, while Wahlberg scooped a reported $68 million. Last year's highest paid actress, Emma Stone, made $26 million. If that's what the richest stars are making, imagine how much the gap might widen for actors lower down the ladder. Well, I'll tell you one thing right now. A lot of actors lower down the ladder make shit.
Yeah.
They make dog shit to act. I don't know. How does it sit with you?
Well, obviously, like, I'm not a fan of it.
No, of course not.
But I guess they haven't publicly released how much every other actor that got brought in for reshoots.
I don't think that's... See, to me, this story is making it a wage gap story.
Yeah.
And while I understand that you can do that, I don't think that's the story. I think this is a great
Wahlberg
story.
versus everyone else.
Yes.
That's what I don't think
it
too.
because
So that's what I'm interested
I'd love
to
to see how much
I tried to look
Christopher
it up, but I
Plummer
couldn't
got
find
paid
anything.
for this. I'd love to see how much they brought in all the amazing Italian actors that they had to. Actually, I don't think they had to do. They didn't share any scenes with them. I'm trying to figure out who else had scenes with Christopher Plummer, because for the most part, it really was just Michelle Williams, a couple of the other smaller actors who I don't really know of, including the guy that played the kid. But I think Mark Wahlberg had the majority of the scenes with him.
Because that makes sense to me. If you have the majority of scenes and you're coming in to do a reshoot, you should get paid more.
I could be wrong on that, by the way. But
at the same time, because I think the gap between these two numbers is so big, it just looks really bad.
I think it looks bad, but I also think that I think this is an opportunity for Vanity Fair to blow this out of proportions. I think really what it boils down to is that people shouldn't be asking, hey, why was he paid more than that? They should be asking, why did you ask for that much? To like that's.
But I mean, I think
how much did he? Did we? I don't remember.
How much did he get paid to begin
originally?
with?
Yeah,
I'm sure he got paid in the tens of millions to be in the movie. I mean, the thing is, people forget Mark Wahlberg's a fucking huge star.
I know.
People go see movies because of Mark Wahlberg.
I think that
I guess that's what people think.
He's a huge star. There's so much speculation that can come out of this because it can be like, was he busy? Because if he's busy doing shit, yeah, it's gonna cost more. Like his time's gonna cost more. If he was in the middle of making another movie and then had to like go away for a week.
To be honest, I don't think so, though, because most of the movies, they just walk him into a square room full of green screen, and they go, Mark, look over there and say this line. He goes, hey, is that a Transformer? Hey, is that a Transformer?
I know that.
Am I doing Pirates of the Caribbean? Are we out? Where am I? Somebody bring me some protein. And that's it.
I think he's a good actor, and I think that you think he's a good actor, and you're
just playing up this bit. The only reason I give Mark Wahlberg shit is because, A, I'm jealous. Of course. He's great looking. He's super talented. He produced fucking Entourage, for Christ's sake, which is one of my all-time favorite candy shows to consume.
For sure.
He's very motivated. He's a guy that I look up to a lot.
He puts in the work.
He does put in the fucking work.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to begrudge anyone on this planet for fucking making that Skrilla, okay?
Yeah.
For getting fucking paid, okay? You put the work in, you get paid what you can get paid, and I appreciate that. But what it boils down to is this, is like, in my opinion, you look, if the rest of your cast goes, hey, we're doing this for basically scale, per diem and a little bit of extra scrap because we want to save this project that we believe in, and you come in and go, this is an opportunity to kind of rake people over the coals here. I just think that's in poor taste, and that's not a team sport. And ultimately, I think that when you're that kind of a personality in a group, I feel like that's only going to drag projects down.
And it's a bummer because the hype behind this movie, because of the Ridley Scott reshooting this in 6 weeks, which is crazy, and like from a production standpoint, I can't imagine like what that looks like to have to like read.
I mean, it was
everything.
It was really hard. Well, they missed the deadline by 3 days, but Ridley Scott went on record and saying he was like, we actually could have made. I don't know if he could have made it, but it was fortuitous, and I think they chose to push it 3 days to get a little farther away from Star Wars.
So like, I think it's sad that now all of this is like overshadowing that narrative. Like that sucks too. It's like kind of a 1-2 punch of like, oh, not only is this story shitty, but then that's I think what people are now going to associate.
Look, ultimately, I think I stand by this film. I actually like Mark Wahlberg a lot in this film. I think he did a great job. I think it was actually good casting for it. Because they needed a character. They needed a character who was basically like cold the entire time with like not too much of a range. So They nailed that one.
Yeah.
Easy Mode Mitch says, BTW, Nick stole the Mark Wahlberg impression word for word from SNL. I did. Say hi to your mother for me. That was the Andy Samberg impression. Hey, say hi to your mother for me. Again, that's why I don't get paid $68 million to act. Because apparently, I'm unoriginal. $68 million. We'll leave it at that.
So close to being nice.
We are indeed. Next news story. This is kind of an interesting one that I don't know anyone gives a fuck about. This comes from Egan.com. This is a story written by Brian Barnett. Says the Green Lantern Corps film is, quote, still in the works, despite a recent shakeup with the DC film universe, according to David Goyer. Now, if you're familiar, Jeff Johns is still the overarching overlord of all DC properties, but they've hired a new president, Walter Hamada, I think is his name, to actually head up the film division. So we're trying to figure out what we're sparring a little bit, we're shadowboxing a little bit to see what this is going to mean for DC's world over here. Goyer confirmed the film is still coming when he spoke to Egan during the 2018 Winter Television Critics Association press tour. I'm going to keep it going until that's how people go. That's actually how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
If we do it long enough,
then it's just like, that's how it is.
And then people go Egan, and people go, no, it's IGN, and they'll never know. Just like GIF and GIF, which one is it? Who gives a fuck?
Is it chomping at the bit? Is it champing at the bit?
It's definitely champing at the bit.
But now it's like
It's also
accepted to say chomping.
It's champing at the bit, and here's why. Because Gary Whitta, who by the way is going to be joining Tim later for Kind of Funny Games Daily, told me that on GOG, and he's British, and British people know how to speak.
This is true. But now so many people say chomping at the bit that now it's like kind of accepted.
Chomping at the bit makes way more sense.
I agree.
Like you've got something in your mouth that's holding you back and you're trying to eat through it to move forward.
It's the horse thing,
That
right?
makes sense. Yeah, the bit. The bit's what you put, or the bridle is what you put in a horse's mouth. Champing, I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
But as a person who purposely mispronounces almost everything, I don't know.
Think of the champ.
It's similar to when I talk about the hit restaurant Chevy's, and Kevin just hates
Chevy's, you know it's
He fucking
Chevy's.
hates it. Back to the story. When asked when fans can expect updates on the film, Goyer said, quote, I don't know. Who knows? Especially with what's currently going on with the DC universe. There's obviously a whole recalibration happening with that right now. Goyer was referring to the reported reorganization of future DC films following the underwhelming performance of the Justice League film. To find out more about that current state of DC universe, be sure to read about DC Films reorganization. You're not going to read that. So yeah, they're trying to figure out what to do with the films. And guess what? They're going to make more Wonder Woman, less Justice League, Cyborg's out. Who cares about everything else? Aquaman actually might, because of you.
Just because of me.
Because you love that Momoa.
Me and Jen.
Do people care about the Green Lantern movie?
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm sure there are fans of Green Lantern that are like, yeah. I mean, when I say do people care, I mean, do you in the chat give a fuck? I know that we can go out there into the world and find one person who's like,
I'm sure.
Green Lantern's my favorite. Hal Jordan, I got a fucking Hal Jordan tattoo on my asshole.
on your asshole.
Yeah, man, those people that are hardcore about it.
Jesus.
They're really hardcore about it. But I just don't know if he's a character. He's on that fringe, right? He's on that line of like, he is kind of a mainstay in the Justice League, but do we need a solo film from him?
I don't. Well, we got a solo film.
We sure did. We sure did. Knocked it out of the park with Ryan Reynolds. CG Ryan Reynolds.
Man, Ryan Reynolds just hit all the different multiple Deadpools. You gotta.
Ryan Reynolds is one of those actors who
Green
I
Lantern.
love.
I
I
do too.
fucking love him. I love him in anything he does. But for whatever reason, call it fate, call it karma, he just he's hit or miss.
Yeah.
He's like Tarzan swinging from the trees, and every once in a while that branch just snaps and he goes down 5 more rungs, and then has to climb back up.
Yeah.
So we'll see. If Deadpool 2 underperforms, that's going to be not very good for him.
Do you think it will?
No, I think everyone will come out in droves, but I honestly think it's one of those movies that's going to be review heavy. If it reviews poorly out of the gate, I don't think a lot of people are going to be clamoring to really get there and see it.
I'm not super worried about With Ryan Reynolds, it's never like a matter of like, is his performance going to be good or bad? It's like, what's the writing?
What's the overall production, right?
Yeah,
Because of course they changed directors, and that's never a good sign. Whenever you have the team that's like, hey, we did a $50 million movie that grossed like $600, $700 million.
And I'm out for the sequel.
And we're going to kick out the director. this is not a good idea. Although I kind of stand behind why they did it, because Ryan Reynolds still wanted to keep it small in order to mitigate some of the risk of it.
Yeah.
And that's very, very smart, especially for a project like a rated R Deadpool. So that makes sense. It does make sense. But I don't know. Tim Miller's very, we'll see what he does with Kitty Pryde, I guess.
Oh, gosh.
If he's going to do
so
that
many-
movie.
God, I really hope that doesn't happen.
It's
That
not gonna
universe
happen.
needs to end.
It's not going to happen.
It needs to end.
Spoilers from yesterday's morning show. It's probably not going to happen. Millie Bobby Brown just signed up for her own Sherlock Holmes franchise. Kevin, bring this story up. This is you put this on there from the old io9.gizmodo.com.
I think you
Millie
mean
Bobby Brown, of
Oi9?
course. What's that?
I believe it's called Oi9.
Okay, cool.
I was doing the same thing. Doesn't matter.
Oh, I see. Oi, Governor.
Actually,
Millie
you know what?
Bobby
It's not
Brown.
even Oi. That's the other way around.
It's close. Kevin, the beauty of
I was trying to
mispronouncing
have
things is that you just can be free with it. You know? The thing is, the English language, ladies and gentlemen, let me just break it down for you a second.
Oh, man,
The most
strap in.
complex of all languages ever made. Do I know that for sure? No. But again, you don't have to know things for sure because it's the internet. You can just make shit up, and if you say it commanding like this, and I do the Obama presidential, I'm not pointing at you, this is totally unintimidating, so don't feel intimidated by this, but I'm still making a very good point. You say it like that, people just believe you, right? And then no one ever bothers to fact check you,
facts.
like in the comment section every day when people are like, Nick, you are stupid and wrong.
I
Actually,
miss
no
the
one ever
internet
says that.
commenter.
But people do. By the way,
Do you miss that voice?
I do. I kind of like it.
dear Joey, please tell Nick he's dumb. Thank you.
See what you did? See what you did?
Dear Joey, Kevin is wrong. It is pronounced the Chevys.
Not.
I'm talking shit, by the way, but I love when people are in the comments. Please keep coming back to the comments on YouTube if you're watching this there, and let me know if we got anything wrong or if you disagree. I love that stuff. I like to hop in there. I like to talk to you guys about it. And if I talk shit to you, it's because I love you. I just want you guys to know that. Every once in a while, someone will say something a little surly, and I'll type some crazy shit in there.
Oh boy.
Was it going to be
love
you
it.
today? Is it going to be you today, True Blue? Is that what his name was?
TARDIS Blue.
TARDIS Blue, is it going to be you? Is it going to be you, Tall Gamer 47? Who said, Nick, you're stupid and wrong, smiley face. Ha ha.
Damn.
Not the last that it works, it's for me to poop on. I do a stunning Triumph the Infalt dog, but I am trying to do the guy from
trying to
Homestar
change it.
Runner.
Oh,
you
Strong
trying-
Bad?
Strong Bad. I am Strong Bad. Dear Homestar Runner.
We'll work. I feel like it's an evolution. We'll work on this.
I only have 3 impressions. I don't know if you've noticed this or not. I have ultimately the lamest Christopher Walken impression ever.
Okay.
Which
I
I
don't
will-
know that it's the lamest. I
We'll
feel like
get
I've
back.
heard way worse Walken impressions.
Well, I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like the
actually pretty
worst
good.
Walken impressions are the people who are impersonating me doing Walken. Right?
you make a good point.
Like when anyone in the community goes, it's fine, right? They're just doing me doing that. Now, lately I've
then
been
it just
working
gets
in my
more
car.
diluted.
Lately I've been working in my car and going older, lower Walken. It's like, it's fine.
Ooh, that was really good.
Good.
I like that one way better.
Doing
No, I like young.
Joe. You know, so I'm working on that right now.
I like that
But I
one.
will tell you,
Keep
it's
it-
hard to work on that when you have mastered the Mark Wahlberg impression. Hey, is that a camera? Which camera do I look in? Hey, that's the color white. I like white.
Nailed it.
Man.
You nailed it. It's
So
good.
what you're saying is next time they need someone to do reshoots for a Walken movie, or not for a Wahlberg movie, they should just call you.
I'll
instead of
nail it,
hiring.
man. They can even get, there's a part of my shoulder that looks kind of like his too, so if they need to shoot the over the shoulder moments, I'm like, hey, let's go. Are you rich? Are you a billionaire? How much money is it going to take? How much is too much? It's a good part in the movie. I don't want to spoil
Man,
it, but he goes,
if I close my eyes,
"More."
I would think that Mark Wahlberg was in here.
Yeah. Let's see. JP Collins says Nick's strong bad impression is like if Triumph did a strong and impression.
I think he just posted.
Strong bad impression. I understand what you're saying there. I gotta go back and watch that. I used to love Homestar Runner.
I haven't thought about Homestar Runner except for when we've talked about it on the show in years.
Yeah, I think about it all the time because Cool Greg's really into what's that other site that shows all the fights, WorldStar?
Yeah.
And he goes, dude, you gotta start watching WorldStar. And I hear the word star,
Star.
and I think Homestar, like WorldStar, Homestar, Runner.
I feel you.
So we gotta go back to that. We'll go into
We
the
should
well later.
revive that.
Travis Warren is asking me to do Luke. You know, Joe, I'm not gonna. Is what he did there. You see that? That's what people get paid money to fucking do. Mark Wahlberg got paid $68 million to do this. Do that for. I'll do it for $68.
$68.
You want me in your fucking movie? Pay me $68. I'll come do this.
It's a pretty good deal, people.
It's not bad.
I don't know that you can really turn that down.
Tell you what, I sell tickets too. You want me in your movie? I can guarantee that at least 3 people are going to buy that movie on iTunes. At least. It's going to be Tim. It's going to be... Well, Kevin will pirate it.
Yeah. That's one.
And my mom will probably buy it. My brother will probably buy it too.
That's true.
All right, let's go into the next story, Kev, when you're ready.
Yep, sorry.
You're okay. This is one you put on here. Oh, no, god damn, that page doesn't work again.
Is it this one?
It's that one. It just doesn't have the P at the end. I don't know why.
I said, where?
Okay, ready?
Do we?
Yeah, bring it up.
Bam.
Hey, there it is. This is over at the Egan again. This is Jordan Serrani. He says Hulu and Blumhouse. Is it Blumhouse or Bloomhouse? I think it's Blumhouse,
I have
right?
no idea.
I'm gonna say Blumhouse. Please, if I'm wrong in the chat, correct me. The studio behind Get Out, Split, and The Purge. I did not see The Purge, but I can tell you right now, I stand by Split and Get Out as two
Honestly,
fucking good movies.
The Purge series is one of my favorite of the newer horror,
It's a great
which I
concept.
didn't think I was gonna like it. And now I like make a point of going to see all of them when they come
It's a fucking great
out.
concept.
There's
The
like
Purge.
It's crazy.
5 of them now.
They made
There's
17.
3.
They made 17 purges.
There's only 3 of
There's
them.
only 3?
There's only 3,
Are
and
you
the
sure?
second and third ones I think are infinitely better than the first one because the first one's set inside the house, and the other 2 explore the universe a little bit more that it's
Yeah.
happening in, which I think is way more interesting.
Do
than
they all
just a
happen on
family.
Purge Day every
Yeah.
year? Mm-hmm. Don't spoil it for me. I kind of
Oh.
want to go and watch these. The studio that brought you those 3 movies are partnering for a monthly horror anthology series, with the first episode expected to be released in October. Probably a good time for a horror anthology to launch.
Solid.
That's great. The 12-episode Hulu original will air over the course of a year, with a new episode premiering each month, while each installment in the currently untitled series will have a self-contained story. Quote, some narrative devices or structural device is expected to connect them, according to Variety. There's another quote here. I'll read it. Quote, at the heart of the deal is an extremely passionate audience, an extremely activatable audience in terms of horror, says Hulu Chief Content Officer Joel Stillerman. Again, another fake name. We had Ted Farnsworth yesterday, and hi, I'm Joel. Joel
shit.
Stillerman. Let me shake your hand, sir. I don't know anything about. No, I'm sure Joel Stillerman is awesome. It's quote. It's not even the larger bucket of genre. Quote genre. I would say this falls squarely into the horror bucket. You are a fan of Black Mirror.
I really liked Black Mirror this season.
Is a Get Out and Purge style horror anthology, is that ringing the bell for you?
Oh yeah, 100%. So Get Out is still, I went through yesterday after you guys started talking about movies, and figured out my like top 5 for the year.
Give
and
it to
I'm
me.
pretty sure that, and Get Out is my number 1.
Okay, Get Out number 1.
What else did I don't remember what the rest of them are. Doesn't matter for this
Where
story.
did downsizing fall on that list?
Downsizing, not
Bottom
on.
Did you
of the
watch
barrel?
Downsizing?
Kevin and I went, it was so bad.
Nick, did we not talk about this?
No, we didn't. You brought it up. You were making fun of it yesterday, but I thought you were just making fun of it because it was like a
Nick,
dumb
it
movie.
was
terrible.
and I like bad movies. That's
no,
the thing.
but like as a movie,
I like
it
bad
was
movies also.
so poorly made.
It was like
the
3
pacing
different
was-
movies that they tried to shove together.
Why? The pacing was so bad. In the first 10 minutes, you have like 5 time jumps that were unnecessary.
Yeah. I
You
fell
feel
asleep
like-
during the first third, which was arguably the most entertaining part of the movie.
They introduced what I think we could argue is one of the most like racially
Insensitive
characters.
Did I just skip the Millie Bobby Brown story?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I
Completely.
mean, you like read it,
And then
the
I think
headline,
we
and then
forgot
moved
to
on,
go
and I was like,
back
all
to
right.
it.
Sorry, that's my bad. Jesus, I just spaced out there.
Let's go back.
Millie Bobby Brown just signed up to do her own Sherlock Holmes franchise. Let's read this, actually. This is a cool story.
Okay.
I'm excited for the horror anthology, too, but I won't watch it because I hate horror.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
I know.
So then you're not going to watch The Purge then?
No. No. I might, because that looks cool. It's a
Yeah.
cool concept.
It's not like it's more psychological
You know what? I'm lying
horror
to you.
than
I'm lying to you.
straight.
I'm not going to watch the fucking Purge. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it. I don't like horror movies.
Well, because I don't
They're
really
scary,
like torture
and they make
horror.
me tense, and
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't like torture horror, so I didn't think I was going to like The Purge. But
Right.
because it had like such a good premise, I didn't think it was that bad.
Got it. Okay. Well, you're not selling it for me. You still said torture and horror.
But it's
So-
not super torture-y. It's more psychological. I don't know. I just really like the concept, I guess, so I'm willing to overlook things.
Got it. You know
But
what?
I like the theory behind Saw, and I won't watch those, so I guess.
No, I won't watch the Saw films either.
Dude, the first
They're
one's
terrible.
really good. The first
Nope.
3.
The only movie I've
the first
ever
one's
walked out of.
really good.
I'll read
and
through
the
this real
other-
quick.
The sequels.
Let's go back to the Millie Bobby Brown story because I love Millie Bobby Brown.
okay.
She's
Yeah.
awesome.
There it is.
Stranger Things star Millie Bobby Brown is going to play the younger sister of Sherlock Holmes. She's just signed a deal to star in a series of movies based on the Enola Holmes mystery novels by Nancy Springer. I'm assuming that's the character's name, Enola. Enola?
Yeah.
That sounds good. A
It sounds
character
like
wholly created by
sister.
Springer, Enola Holmes is the teenage sister of the iconic detective. She also has a knack for solving mysteries, and the 6 novels in the series, which began in 2006, tell their own stories while also including famous characters from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's iconic franchise. Legendary Entertainment put together the project, and Brown will not only star but also be a producer. Not bad for a 13-year-old.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
She's producing?
Yeah, she's on the fucking rise.
That's
I'll tell you that right
fucking
now.
wild.
Now, I
Yeah.
will say this: I don't like when they do spin-off series where the character is essentially the other character. I
it's like the
love
same thing,
Sherlock
but
so
different.
much, but I feel like they got to come at me right with this one. They got to
Yeah.
come correct.
I don't know. I feel like I like her. So I don't even really like Stranger Things, but I like her a lot, just from like what I've seen. Like I know that she's great in Stranger Things, and
Wait,
I've
how
liked
much
what
of-
I've seen in interviews.
Have you seen?
Stranger Things?
Yeah.
I watched the first 5 episodes of the first season.
Okay, got it.
So I like have some baseline for it. But I think that I don't know. The fact that she's a producer on it and she has like a little bit more of a hand, maybe. in
Well,
what-
she's 13. I don't know how much of a hand she's really going to
But, like,
understand
she
around that.
might
Like, I don't see her in the writers' room being like, no,
No,
that
yeah.
story arc is shit. Like, I don't know what's going to happen
I think she
there.
has a little bit more pull to like make it a character.
Well,
that
she's the
she
name.
likes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
And I don't really have like a huge affinity for Sherlock Holmes in general.
Have you watched Sherlock?
The Benedict Cumberbatch one.
Yeah.
Batch one. I don't really like him.
What?
I know. And I can't tell you why. But I just
like it's a secret or
wait, have you?
no,
wait,
like I don't know.
No,
Like I
joking.
can't.
I was just joking right there.
I hate you.
Here's the thing.
I love you too,
Here's the
bud.
thing.
Okay.
You probably don't like him because he comes off as incredibly British and pretentious. But that is exactly why he's perfect for Sherlock. He's perfect
Yeah.
in that role. You should give the first season a watch at least. It's very well done, very weirdly done, so fucking British. So British.
And that's maybe another reason because I don't love.
You hate the
super
Brits?
Yeah, all of them.
You hate
No,
Tom
I don't like. I
Hawkins?
don't like.
You know what pisses me off is Tom Hawkins. I'm like dead to him now. I say his name all the time, never get any love from him.
No.
He's off.
Do you check your Twitter? I mean, like, do you actually
No,
not get
I
any?
don't.
Okay, so
I don't
you
check
could
my
be
Twitter.
getting a lot of love.
Is that my fault or his fault?
Nick, you're misunderstanding. I blame him 100%.
100%. Thank you.
100%.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Again,
You're a sweet
we are
angel.
trying to create an internet where there is zero accountability. So don't call me out on my bullshit, people. When I say something that's totally contradictory to what I just said, I expect you to just go with the flow. let's just
Facts
ride this.
change, Nick.
We're gonna go into the last story, which I think is very fascinating. Before I do that, a reminder: if you guys want to tip us at the $5 above level, we will read those tips. So if I've said anything that has stirred your loins in the last 20 minutes, please feel free to engage me on that front. Next story, and this is an interesting one. This is from the rumor mill, the tech rumor mill. I found this story on investorplace.com. Which I can't imagine is a real website, but I'm sure it is. I'm sure Kevin knows it because he invests in things because he's smart. Apple rumors began the silly season for Netflix Inc. stock. I don't know what that title means. The long and short of this is there's a rumor
I
floating
think the
around.
tagline's way better.
Netflix is up on rumors Apple may buy it. Don't believe them, says these rumors. This is interesting. Now, it's being debunked. People are saying, I don't think this is going to happen. But as you know, Apple is making a play to enter the content creation and streaming
Yeah.
world. And if Apple does it, it's probably going to be, they're going to come correct.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens here. The rumor apparently put out by the Citigroup was that Netflix was being considered, or Apple was considering buying Netflix, which made both the stock go up.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about stock intricacies on this, but I did want to talk theoretically about what that might
Theoretically.
look like for the landscape of streaming. We know that Disney's probably going to do something with Hulu. Disney might make Hulu their streaming platform or rename it like Disney Streaming or whatever.
Yeah.
Which would probably be great for Hulu because let's be honest, Hulu is the third child in this world.
In the
Netflix,
Amazon, Hulu.
Yeah, I put
You think-
Amazon middle.
Really?
100%.
I think that I would put Hulu above Amazon.
What?
Well, maybe
in
they're
the
twins.
original content.
Maybe they're
Yeah,
twins.
I was like, I don't know that
Because to me, I can't name one original Hulu series, but
Handmaid's Tale that just won all of the Golden Globes.
it's a good point. But so did the whatchamacallit one
Marvelous
too,
Miss
Marvelous
Maisel.
Miss Maisel. So I'm telling you, they're
Yeah.
just nerd twins. Those are the two. You know what?
I see that.
I'll revise that. I think Hulu probably does have a stronger game at this point in the original content creation game than
I feel
Amazon.
Like Amazon's studios, like movie production,
That's the problem.
Like they've done
Big
some
Sick,
good
Amazon Studios, Big Sick.
tight-
But I
Come
don't-
at me, Handmaid's Tale. Come at me, dystopian future with fucking girl from Mad Men whose name I can never remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Elizabeth Moss.
There we go. But that's a thing of like, I don't know how many people in life know that The Big Sick is an Amazon Studios movie.
Not many, but I think
But that
what.
doesn't change that it is. in fact.
But I don't like. Is that a driving force for people to go to Amazon
But-
to look for original content?
No. Amazon, I think, has been dropping the ball a lot lately with their original content, especially given the way they do it. They've been taking more of a smarter strategy with their series of
Like
hey, we're going to
backing
put
stuff?
well, they put a pilot out, and then if people like it, they put the series into production.
Yeah.
Like they did with The Tick, which is great because it obviously saves on hey, this is something that people like,
Yeah.
but it makes us wait a long time. And Kevin and I
too long.
don't like
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah.
The only thing Kevin likes waiting for is sous vide meat.
And
And I'm gonna be honest,
mediocre-
guys. I really
And
don't
cold
like
brew
waiting
coffee.
for it.
that mediocre chain restaurants.
What is she talking about? What
Kevin
Because
likes
we
to
like
wait
going-
at mediocre chain restaurants.
First
at one
off,
point, we
that's
almost
not true
waited
at all.
an hour for Sizzler.
Oh, Kevin.
Hey, we were gonna
Oh,
go buy
Kevin.
a Christmas tree, and we didn't though.
I
She
can't
said
get behind
almost.
that. Okay, if you're waiting an hour for Sizzler, just go across the street
She's
to Carl's Jr.
lying.
and get a
We
freaking
walked
burger.
away. They said an hour.
We went to. We tried to go to
scoffed.
two, but we tried to go to a different Sizzler
Yeah,
because
they were
Kevin wanted
closed.
to
They're in
go.
and out.
Jay
You know
Kogaten
what
brings
that
up a
cheese bread?
very good point. Says Nick, Hulu has the Orville on it, but so does basic TV. So that's not really a plus. If I
But
can
I
turn
think
on my TV
that's-
on Fox and find the show, that's not what I'm talking
But
about.
that's the beauty of
Hulu?
Hulu is like it's fulfilling the TV gap for people that don't
It's
have
nice.
it.
It is interesting, and it's a cool. I don't engage with Hulu a lot, so I don't really understand how that works. But I do know that they put new shows on there, right?
Yeah.
Like the day
Because that's
after
how
they air or
I
something.
yeah
like that,
that's
right?
how I watch it because I don't have cable.
It's cool.
So
It's cool. So
I watched
you know what? You're
911
right.
last night.
You've changed my mind on that front.
Thank
It
you.
does go Netflix, Hulu, and then by a wide margin Amazon.
But
unfortunately.
Amazon does have the benefit of it has like a way wider.
It's a much
release.
more
Yeah.
scalable platform. I like Amazon. Obviously, you get whatever movie you want, you rent it
Yeah.
on there.
And it has new rentals, which Hulu doesn't
It
have.
does. It also ties in with your HBO and Showtime and all that stuff, which I learned unfortunately the hard way because I accidentally clicked on because I was trying to watch The Incredible Hulk on my HBO Go account,
Mm-hmm.
and my PS4 just kept shitting the bed. But I know Amazon does a much better job at scaling,
Mm-hmm.
like buffering or down to a scale. Scaling the quality when your internet signal's not great. So I went over to there, but I had to click on the free trial. So I think they charged me $14 to watch a movie I could have rented on Amazon's platform for $4.
Awesome.
Now, is that their fault?
No.
No. Is it my fault? Maybe. Did my wife immediately text me the next day when she saw that and she was like, "What in the dick is this?" Yes. Yes, that
Are you
did.
going to use the next month of your HBO trial to watch
No,
some
because I
awesome
already
things?
have HBO Go. I don't need it. I fucking royally screwed the pooch on that. This is what happens when you're like, when Greg texts you or slacks you at 10 o'clock at night on Sunday and says, "Hey, reminder, watch Incredible Hulk," and you
Yeah.
start to panic.
And you're like, oh, that's right. I have to do that.
Yeah, and your wife's like, "I'm watching the Golden Globes. You can't watch the TV here. You have to pull the PS4 out and put it in your office and go and watch it on your stupid Dell monitor with headphones into your controller because you threw away your speakers."
Is it the really like dumb, just one ear one that came with your PS4? Or what?
No, I have nice Sony headphones, like monitor headphones that I keep
Okay.
at home for editing.
I was
so
kind
that's
of
good.
hoping it was like the shitty ones that came with it, just to add. To
No,
the
I can't
story.
do those. I need to have good audio. I need to have good audio going to my ears at all time, always.
So I didn't used to care about audio stuff, and then I started using the Audio Technicas that we have in the office. And now whenever I use anything else, I'm like, oh, like my earbuds, like if I'm walking and stuff like that, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, those are infinitely
You know, I'm
better.
sorry. I think I misspoke. I think I said I had Sony monitors. We used to use those at IG, and I have the Audio Technicas.
Yeah.
And they're nice.
Yeah,
It's
I like,
hard.
and
It's
they're
hard
super
to go.
comfy.
Yeah, they're comfortable. It's hard to go back to not having that bass and that full range
Yeah.
of or dynamic range for the audio, as full as they can give you. I don't know. Again, I don't know that much about audio, but anyway, long story short is what if Apple? I don't think Apple's going to buy Netflix. But if they were to,
think so.
holy bejesus, that would be an interesting landscape
Yeah,
for them,
that would be crazy.
and I would hate it. I think I would hate
acquisition would
it
be
because they would try to tie all that shit in with iTunes, and I fucking hate getting content through Apple. I hate it.
So when I was home for Christmas, my parents use Apple TV for everything.
That's not bad.
That's
that's just a delivery device. That's
well,
just like
the
a small
version that
computer,
they
basically.
have, I hate because the remote has like this weird touch thing,
Oh, that's
and it
old.
doesn't really work.
No.
It's one of the newer ones.
Is it?
Yeah, because the other ones,
Because I got my parents' one, and it was like
buttons.
the controller looked like an original iPod.
Yeah, that's the older one. This one is just like a blank, like a touchpad that you move, and it doesn't really work, and it's really annoying, and it's I hate the search function through there doesn't really work, and like the categories they have set up. I would be so irritated if that's what the Netflix.
I would be worried, and here's why, because I think Netflix obviously has had the last 10 years to try and perfect as much as possible this platform. Do they still do that thing where when I hover over something, it immediately plays a dumb trailer and I fucking hate it?
And if it doesn't have a trailer, it just plays random scenes of the movie.
Shit with
and
random fucking we bought this soundtrack for $5 on pond5.com. Yeah. I hate that stuff. It gives me anxiety. But ultimately, I think
the autoplay stuff or no?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
I'm too
fucking lazy to look. I doubt it.
Someone in the chat, if you know.
Chat, tell us if you can stop that, because that would go a long way in my book toward making me not want to throw my PS4 controller through my plasma TV. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't like this. I like Netflix being standalone. I like what they're doing. I think that they're nimble. I think that they have a good strategy, and I think that they are pushing progress in the industry because they are the competitor to chase after right now. I worry that Apple is not the company that Apple was 10 years ago when Steve Jobs ran it. I worry that Apple would look and come in and buy it, and they would muddy it down a little bit like Amazon is, right?
Yeah.
Because Apple's such a big company and does so many other things that I don't think content creation is going to be their main focus.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what I'm seeing with Amazon right now, is that Amazon started making movies almost like it's a fucking hobby.
Yeah.
They were like, let's just throw some money in. We've got billions of dollars. We bought Whole Foods.
We bought Twitch.
We bought all these things. Like, throw Kumail Nanjiani like $20 million. Let him go make a movie.
Yeah.
He'll report back when he wins a Golden Globe, or maybe not.
You're so good though.
So good, but I'm not seeing the direction and the clarity of thought and the vision from those other studios that you're seeing from Netflix right now.
Yeah.
We'll see what Apple does, though. I also don't think Apple wants to do that. I think Apple's more of the strategy of like, we're just going to throw a lot of money and we're going to put all our competitors out of business.
Yeah.
But maybe they're looking at it and it's like, I don't know, maybe it's a cheap way to get in on it. I don't know. Apparently when you buy shit for $60 million, $20 million, billion, that's nothing to these companies. Like when they bought LucasArts for like $6 billion and they're like, hey, we made our money back in like 2 years. You're like, what?
Is that how this works?
Like, can I buy them?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If I had a choice, I would keep them separate. I like what Netflix is doing and pushing people like Amazon and Hulu and now Apple to step up their game.
Yeah.
And I think competition
Competition breeds excellence.
Right?
We'll see. And we are getting to the era of consolidation. We are. It's quickly approaching. It's going to be harder and harder and harder for streaming companies like Apple to enter into the marketplace for this. So I think consolidation makes sense. We've already seen it with Disney and Hulu. We'll see what happens. My question becomes, at what point do we just call a spade and be like, there's the big three, just like there were the big three networks back in the day, and we've just recreated that system again? I don't know.
Yeah, but I think that with these, they have, maybe they're not, I don't know. I guess I don't have like as good of a grasp on like TV history on innovation and pushing things forward. But it seems like a little bit more nimble.
Oh, it's way more nimble.
To be able to do what you want to do.
If you track the way TV was made from like the 60s on to like the early 2000s, I don't think you're going to see a ton of change there. Yeah. You're not going to see a ton of evolution, largely because
other than like reality TV.
Well, reality TV, but that's true. I guess reality TV was a good point, or a good stepping stone for them toward a different kind of TV. But you're still constrained by both the format and by the delivery mechanism of the broadcasters and how that whole ecosystem works. Namely, you still have to serve ads, so you still have to have ad breaks, so you still have to.
So it changes.
You have to cater your stories to that whole system that's been set up, and that's what's so fascinating about where we're at right now is there's a brand new system that's happening in front of our eyes, and we better cherish it because very quickly it's going to become the standard, and then once that's locked in, it's very hard to change that.
Yeah.
Very hard to change that.
Interesting to see how Hulu tries to be somewhere in the middle of like, yes, we're serving like network content, but then trying to then put ads and their ad breaks into content that's.
And how do you love that? Do you like that?
Well, I upgraded. I have the one with no ads because it was driving me crazy.
It makes sense, right?
But it's interesting to see them try and bridge the gap, but I don't know if that's necessarily the right way. I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for sticking with us. Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, what your opinion is if Apple should buy Netflix, if you'd be down for that. If I don't know. We'll see what happens. While you do that, I'm going to go to the tips. We have 3 tips today. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Mr. Spaz M Gasm says, "Here's my birthday tax on behalf of my big sister. Love you guys almost as much as I love her." That's a nice thing to say.
Oh, that's very nice.
Project Zion says, "Nick, how does one become as handsome as yourself? Asking for a friend. Well, I'll tell you this. If you think I'm handsome, first, you're right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Second, if you want to talk about how to get more fit or feel better, we're going to do that tomorrow on the show with Youssef McGueed. He's coming. We're going to talk Jack Manop. We're going to, again, I'm not claiming either of us know any, like, we're not the grand poobahs of nutrition or working out, but we're going to figure it out together. And that's part of the fun of it, is that we get to now share that with you guys. We'll get some tips from you guys, hopefully, what works, what doesn't work, what works best for your body, and we're going to go from there.
If you don't know Youssef, he's awesome. Because I don't know that many people know him.
Well, they're going to.
And he's great. He's one of my favorite.
It's my goal in life to get people to know him because he's a great human being. Respawn Raider gave us our final tip and says, shout out to friends of the show, Hunter and Alexis Pence, who are finally opening up the
Coral Sword.
Coral Sword. I think he spelled coral wrong. Sword on February 2. They do streams on Twitch, and it sounds awesome. If you're not familiar with this, Hunter loves coffee. Let's go back. Hunter loves two things.
Bringing it back.
Let's go back. Hunter loves three things. Baseball, which he's very good at. Obscure PC games, which he's also really good at.
Yeah.
Smash Bros,
Brothers.
which is the third one. And I'll put a fourth one in there, like I always do, coffee. So apparently he is going around and opening badass coffee shops and turning them into like stream lounges so people can do competitive Twitch streaming
Which
there.
is awesome.
Which is freaking awesome. Now, if you're
Open one in
familiar
San
with,
Francisco, please.
here's how all this works. I'm sure he's trying. Here's how all this works. Here's the tie-in with the family.
Yeah.
Guess who did that studio?
Tell me, Nick.
Matt Scarpino.
Because Matt Studios looks so good.
So Hunter hired my brother to go down. Hunter and Alexis, I should say, hired my brother to go down there and his team to do the studio, put in all the cameras, put all the infrastructure. And Matt's going to be here in a week, so we'll probably talk about that. He's coming next Wednesday, I believe, or the 17th, next Wednesday. So I want to pick his brain on that. He'll be on the morning show. But it's awesome because this is, I guess, a passion project for them, and it turned out amazingly.
It looks really cool. I watched one of their streams the other day.
Now, did I have a moment of panic when I realized that my brother was going to spend that much time with Hunter Pence, a person who I look up to tremendously, who is a huge inspiration in my life, and whose opinion of me matters probably more than most people that I come in contact with. Spending that with my brother, who has all of the intimate secrets about my past, and is prone to sometimes just making up shit. Like if you've spent 5 minutes.
That doesn't sound like Matt at all.
Kevin, have you ever heard my brother just bold-faced make up shit for a joke?
It's
to get
funny,
a laugh?
Man. It's funny.
Dude, it's so
funny,
good.
but it's not fun when it's at your expense. So yeah,
This is true.
I'm glad they got along. I'm interested to hear that whole story, and the studio looks fucking amazing.
Did you
so
also see
congratulations
where
to them.
Alexis is this morning?
No.
She posted a picture at Rooster Teeth.
RT.
I
That's
know.
fun.
Cool.
So the family just getting even more
I
intertwined.
love it. It's incestuous, and I love it.
So good.
That's it for tips, ladies and gentlemen. Joe, do you want to go into P.S. I love this best friend
I would love to.
XOXO? Do you want to read this one?
I do.
Go for it.
So today we have a P.S. I love this best friend XOXO submission from Mario Not Bros. He's shouting out Gerardo Martinez for being an amazing guy, offering up his hotel for me to crash the first day of KFL 3 when I had no place to stay. Incredibly nice dude. Shout out to that. Best friends being best friends.
We love
That's what
that.
we like to see.
Best friends sleeping with best friends. That's what we like to see. What was it? What did you say?
Helping best
Helping
friends.
best friends.
I
That's
mean,
what
you
we
know,
like to see.
it happens.
That's what we like to see.
If you want to submit best friends that are doing cool things, which you totally should, you can go to kindoffunny.com/bestfriend, fill it out, let us know, and we'll read it on the show. Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Fantastic. It's giveaway time now. These are my two favorite parts because these are the parts that you do, and then I just get to read. That's fun. Giveaway. How do you get entered to win the giveaway? Well, there are 4 ways. One, you can be in the Twitch chat right now. If you skipped the first part of the show and this is your first time watching this on YouTube, it's actually a live show we do every morning here at 11 a.m. Pacific time, West Coast, Best Coast, here at twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. You can be in the chat right now. You're automatically entered to win. That's great. Number 2, you can be a You can be a Twitch. I said twat.
Yeah,
you can be a Twitch subscriber. I haven't said the word twat in a very long time. I gotta bring that back. Bring that back. Yeah, bring it back. It's not on the list. It's not on the word list that you're not allowed to say. So as long as I can say twat, I'm saying it. You can be a Twitch subscriber. What does that get you? Well, it gets you private chat time with us. You get cool little emotes. When we play games, we pick from you guys. You guys get to play games with us, and we've been playing a lot lately, which is great. Greg always likes to hop on and play Friday the 13th, and you can see the true Greg when he does that, because he gets to play as a psychopathic killer who doesn't have feelings and just wants to win at all costs.
It's so
That one of the highly voted favorite party modes.
It was a good party mode.
It's a real good one.
It was a good one. I want to go back to that. I want a second shot at that. Of course, if you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free Twitch Prime subscription. Please give that to someone. It doesn't have to go to us, but it's just your daily reminder that that's an awesome thing that Amazon is doing, and you can go and you can give someone $5 for free on their dime. I gave it to Craves Snow this month. One of the illustrious best friends out there who's also Twitch streaming. So, look around. If you want to give it to us, great. We love you. Thank you. It helps keep the lights on. If not, don't let it go to waste. Today's, 2 other ways, Patreon games.
Yes.
You go over there, you subscribe to either of our Patreons at the $2 above level, and you get entered into winning the game, but you also get to watch all of our shows, you get early access, and you get to watch them live. And let me tell you, yesterday's live show with Danny Mac had a great pre and post show. We had a blast talking about how to make movies, complimenting each other, and a couple people got kind of drunk and said some nasty things. So go look forward to that.
Is that true?
No, I made that up. But again, we're not accountable to anything because we're on the internet. It doesn't matter.
We can say whatever we want, Kevin.
But it was a really, really good live show.
Yeah. Danny Mac should come by more often. He's great.
Beautiful human being.
He is.
He's great.
And he's like ridiculously nice too, and it's just like
he's very nice.
things.
He's Canadian.
And
that's true.
he made a really good movie.
He did.
I watched it yesterday.
It's
Oh,
fun,
really?
right?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's nice because when I first saw it, I always have that trepidation whenever I watch someone's project for the first time because I always appreciate anyone who makes a film on their own, by the way, automatically gets an extra 50 points in my book.
Damn, that's a
no
lot
matter
of
what the
points.
film is, I automatically like it because you made it and you did it and you fucking got out there and did it.
That's such a process.
That's a process, but that only takes you up to 50%, which is still a failing grade, right?
Sure.
So what that'll get from me when you asked me what I thought was I was like, you did a great job, i.e. you did a great job putting the film together. You got out there, you did something.
You did a
good
thing.
for you. You did a thing, right? Thank God the film's actually good. Because then I can be like, let's talk about the intricacies of this. It was really cool. It's from start to finish, the film stands on its own 2 legs, tells a story, has great character development, and it's entertaining, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And that is not easy to do. So we talked about all that yesterday on GOG. If you didn't watch live, of course, that'll be up on Friday, I believe, early access, and then we'll post it next week whenever we post that show.
Are we talking about the other thing that you guys said last night? Or is that a secret?
No, I don't think it's a secret. We pimped it on GOG. We did a watch along as well for a Heel Kick, which, by the way, is out on pre-order on iTunes. So if you guys want to go out there and get that, if you're going to get it anywhere, get it on iTunes because we're trying to push everyone over to that so that we can get iTunes top 10. Because that'll go a long way for Danny, and that's really, really cool, and that's a good platform. Even though I just said I hate getting anything on iTunes, you got to go to this because this is the one they chose. Not my choice, but this is the tip of the spear. This is where we're focusing our efforts on. So if you guys want to see that, pre-order it right now. I believe it will be available to stream in 1 week, and we have done a watch along for it. Spoilers. Watch it first, then watch our watch along.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't want people giving me shit. Nick, you talked over the whole fucking movie because that's what a goddamn commentary is.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that to anyone specifically except for Kevin, who gave me shit all day. He kept shushing me. He's like, shh.
I did it once and it was fucking hilarious.
It was funny. You did it. No, you did it twice. The first time you legit did it, and then you were like, oh, that was funny.
No,
and then you did it again.
not at all. I knew the whole time.
That's fair.
Moments earlier, I was like, oh shit, I can't hear this.
Right.
So I'm not going to be able to watch this movie. You know what would be funny is telling Nick to be quiet.
He did. And I was like, what? And then we got mad. Today's winner comes from the Kind of Funny Patreon. Congratulations, Mitch Krassen. You have won Loco Roco 2 Remastered
Yay.
on PS4. That's great. Loco Roco 2, great game. Great game. Seminal game.
Tell me about Loco Roco 2.
I'll tell you a story about a little game called Loco Roco 1 and 2.
Okay.
They call it the 1-2 punch of the Loco Roco series. Okay. This series features a cute little animatronic train called Loco and his friend Rocco, who tags along behind him. They carry each other all around. It's very colorful. You get some challenges. It's a platformer, but also may or may not be a 3D game, and it also may be a
3D platformer?
a quaint little JRPG.
Oh, wow.
It's a quaint little JRPG.
This
from
is innovation.
A little land called Japan. How close did I get?
I don't know anything about Loco Roco.
Is it a music game?
Not even a little close.
Is it a music game?
No, isn't it the game where you're like...
I get it confused with Patapong, so I don't know.
It's the one where you like walking
And Nino
around
Kuni.
and like you just keep collecting crap and you become a big ass ball. No,
that's not
no,
Loco
you're
Roco.
right. It's the one where you're like a ball.
It's a platformer, so you got that right, and it was developed by Sony Japan.
Isn't it where you're a ball and you're like
No.
kind of floating around, fucking eating stuff?
No, you're thinking of, God, what's the one he's thinking of? The one where you start small and you roll around and you get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, that's what I was thinking at first, but I think it.
Chat, which one is he talking about? For
Yeah,
Christ's
you're
sake?
here. Hold on.
Not Patapong. It's not Patapong. It's like not Katamari or
Yeah, see, you're a ball and you're bouncing around places.
I thought you were talking about the 3D game where they had a series of 3D games where you walked around and just collected trash and became a giant trash ball.
Originally, I was talking about that, but once you made me realize the error of my ways, I realized, yes.
Did I just actually guess that? Did I say Katamari before people in the chat said it?
Yeah, you did.
Oh my God. Apparently, I worked at IGN for a while. Some of that shit stuck. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting a little long.
That train game, though.
Train game?
The one that you were describing? No, the one that you were describing.
We want to play the game that he just made up.
The fun part about that, I totally made that up. Well, let's go into the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, we close this show out every day with the old 3 and 3. Well, what's that mean? Well, we're going to take 3 questions, comments, and concerns from the non-subscribers, the norms, the people who just go about their day every day, just not giving a shit about anything. And then we'll, of course, go to the chosen few, the subscribers, the golden children, the diamonds in the rough, the thunder in my sky, you subscribers. We'll talk to you guys for a little bit. And then I'm going to pee while Joey reads subscriptions.
Yeah.
And then we're going to get some lunch.
Speaking of Diamond in the Rough, that whole thing you did, I rewatched the Extra Life doc that we put out for Patreon people that'll go live for everybody in February.
Yeah.
But I forgot that you had that whole bit in the middle where you were talking about John Drake being the stars in your sky. And
he is. He's the moon in my stars or whatever the way.
John Drake, I feel like he doesn't get enough love or appreciation.
He's one of those guys that is... He's a really nice guy, but he's also very quick-witted. So he's fun to spar with.
Exactly.
Verbally. Mm-hmm. And he's smarter than me and more successmarter than me. So that gives me like, I want to compete with him. You know, I'm like, oh, let me take the fucking wind out of his sails a little bit.
Thing.
Right. He's also, he's married to Andrea, so they're like the power couple, and that's intimidating also.
Oh yeah, they are 100% the power couple.
They are. So there's that whole thing going on. Ocarina Pro says, Nick, what was the last movie you watched that inspired you? Every movie inspires me.
That inspired me.
Every movie inspires me. To be honest, the last one I watched was Heel Kick.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Because having Danny in and talking to him, I mean, if you got, like, I write all the time. Greg and I wrote an outline for a script that we want to make one day, and talking to Danny about it was just, it's super fun.
It's so crazy how much of like that felt like a movie, you know? When I watched that, I was like, oh shit, this guy fucking made a real movie.
He made a fucking movie.
And it's, you know.
Shout out to Desky Fam that says, Joey, when do you and Chrissy Teigen become best buds over Stardew Valley? Did you see this at all last night?
No.
So Chrissy Teigen was tweeting last night. She's a big Switch fan, if you've been following all her stuff.
I have an apology for Chrissy Teigen.
Okay.
I have to run into this apology.
Okay.
I saw her and John Legend throughout the years, forming their relationship, having kids, doing all this stuff, and I gave him a lot of shit.
Why?
I was like, because I just didn't know who she was, and I was like, I don't like this person who's just famous for being famous. That was my perception of her.
Okay.
Obviously, she started as a model, so I came in with a little bit of a jaded perspective of being like, she just got famous because she's pretty. I'll admit that that's what I thought. Then I think it was you who said, oh no, you got to start following her on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because she is fucking hilarious.
She's awesome.
And I started reading up on her. I was like, Jesus, I fucking totally misjudged this person. She's hilarious.
She's hilarious, and then she's also a great cook. She's been doing she has a cookbook, and her Instagram is filled with really good-looking food.
She's just a really fun personality to follow.
Yeah.
And she's not
awesome.
afraid to fuck with people on Twitter.
No, and that's what I love it.
I love it.
So she, huge Switch fan, she was tweeting about playing Mario, there was this whole thing where she lost her Switch, and she was so sad about her moon. She had a Switch birthday cake this year. Anyways, she was playing Stardew Valley last night and was getting like really frustrated with it. And like everybody and their mother started tagging me in responses like, Joey, help her with Stardew Valley. So I was like I just tweeted at her about different stuff, and like Alana got in it and Naomi, and like my whole feed was just people like trying to help Chrissy Teigen with Stardew Valley.
That is amazing.
And then this morning I woke up and I got a Twitter notification. It's like, one of your tweets has been added to a Twitter moment. So they made a Twitter moment out of all of like a bunch of the responses.
Hell yeah, man. Changing the world, shaping minds.
So I want to be best friends with Chrissy Teigen on a number of different fronts. One, that she's super sassy and I love her.
I want to party with Chrissy Teigen.
Right?
I want to hang out with Chrissy Teigen, and I want to tell her that she is an inspiration in my life.
Everyone, tell Chrissy Teigen that she should come to San Francisco and A, come talk about games with us, because she was also talking about Animal Crossing, and B, come film some cooking stuff with Greg, because that would be really awesome too.
That would be
Should
amazing.
they send some sweet nasty love to her?
Sweet nasty.
Let's not send sweet nasty love to a female.
Yeah.
Let's keep that for people who know what sweet nasty love is, or for people who we want to surprise with it. Let's not blindside Chrissy Teigen.
Why do we got to
with
do
sweet
this?
nasty
Why do
love.
we got to treat people different because of gender?
No, I think you should just tell Chrissy
fucked
Teigen
up.
that she should come to San Francisco and do videos with us.
Let's go with that. Let's see here. Mr. Soapy Nuts says keto diet doesn't work for health reasons. I'd love to hear what those health reasons are. We can talk about that tomorrow. But let me know in the chat right now what you're talking about. Because as far as I know, the keto diet is what a lot of people prescribe for a lot of health problems. So let's see. Man. Mattman94 says, man, are they really encroaching on Kind of Funny Games Daily's time right now? You know what?
Oh, shit. No Andrea, no Rush.
Explain
No
something
Andrea, no
to
Greg.
you people out there. Okay?
What do you mean, you people?
I will not be rushed.
Stop fucking tabbing it, Nick.
Okay? I will not be
Oh,
bothered.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to cut your mic.
Give him the one, Kevin.
He can't. Our system shit itself and then died. Kevin put a bullet in it and took it to fucking get fixed. I will say whatever I want to say, but having said that, I do have to pee. Let's go into sub-only mode right now.
Perfect. That works too.
Guys, I'm super excited. I just figured out how to fucking use this thing. I'm so stoked.
Melty Drail asks a very seminal question that we have not addressed this year yet. Is The Departed a good movie? Now, you guys know the joke that I crammed into the ground all last year was that I am the keeper of many things. One, whether or not Blade Runner 2049 is a good movie. We solved that. It is on my top 10 list by far.
Is it on your top 5?
Probably.
Okay.
2, whether or not The Departed is a good movie. We've all come to the consensus that no, it's not. 3, we keep open.
We did not all
just
come
for
to that
fun.
consensus.
3, we keep open just for fun. 4, for baby Jesus. And 5 today is have I had too much coffee? Answer?
Have you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How many coffees did you have
Well, I
this
had
morning?
2 of these bad boys and 1.5 of these, and boy, do I have to pee right now.
Woo!
Boy, it's hurt. Let's take
Nick,
a couple
my
questions
coffee.
from the chosen few. JP Scowl says, Nick, why are you stopping? Your boss, Andrea Renee, isn't here. It's true, but you kind of just feel her presence. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
feel
want her
it.
to text me or get wind of this. You know?
I would love if all of a sudden we got a text or a call from Andrea, like, wrap it up.
Oh my God, that would
funny.
terrify me.
Mr. Yasman says, Joey, does Andrea remind you of Frankie from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends? I don't know what that is.
Really?
No.
Oh, it's a great show.
Toby Blue 277
Great
says,
show.
if you could be another KF member for one day, who would it be? Unequivocally, Kevin.
Oh, Nick.
If I could live in Kevin's skin and see the world through his eyes for one day, because I have to imagine it's like this. I go through my life, and this is
Yeah.
going to sound crazy to you.
Okay.
But I go through my life feeling that I need to constrain myself a little bit here and there.
Okay.
Feeling that I have to balance things out, prioritize things out, and just keep an even, steady stream going.
Okay.
Jumping into Kevin must be like what it's like to do like DMT, right? Like a heavily hallucinogenic drug that just opens everything up, and all of a sudden, like, sky's the limit as far as
You can see
possibilities.
sounds.
Like, for instance, I subscribe to the notion, and maybe it makes me a little straight edge, maybe it makes me a little bit of an L7 square, that your car should have good brakes. Kevin, not confined by that
I
reality.
fixed the brakes. It was only
Kevin,
for
Not
like,
confined. Cool,
for like 2 years. 2 years.
Not
Kevin
confined
also
by
likes
that.
to park in bushes.
To be fair, I've parked in that bush, but I had anxiety about it all day. I thought maybe it's scratching my car up.
If I was gonna be somebody kind of funny, I want to be cool, Greg. I want to be cool, Greg, in the sense that like I just want to exist in his consciousness, so I can
Cool
see
Greg's-
the thought process.
Yeah.
Go down to Market Street, experience the night as cool
I did.
Greg.
I did a thing.
Totally into that.
Last night I took Cool Greg to an open mic, couple open mics. We hung out. He started getting. He had a couple drinks. 2 things happened. 1, I look over the signing list. Have no idea how this happened. Look over the signing list. My name's tagged on it. He tagged Nick in big bold letters, and the guy with the list was like, my buddy Travis that was running the mic was like, "What the fuck happened to this?" And Cool Greg's like, he's just like, and then we were doing what was probably the most rude thing you could possibly do in an open mic. We were not paying attention to the comedian because we had been sitting around for fucking ever because it started way late. And as she was going, Cool Greg thought he was whispering better tags for the jokes, but he was in fact screaming them to me. So as the people on stage would be like, yada, 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 and then my dad said, "How could you?" Cool Greg was like, "Hey, yo, Nick, that joke was stupid. Here's a funnier way to say that joke."
Was he right?
Yeah, he was 100% right.
That's really
And
cool.
I knew that, and the comedians on stage knew that because he
Good.
was
Maybe
very
they
verbal
learned a
about
valuable
it.
lesson.
Hey, you know what? You
Maybe
got to
they
get
make
out
their
there. You got to
set
try.
better.
You miss
You gotta
100% of
try.
the shots you don't take. Let's take one more, and then we'll take out Peanut0423 says, "Cool Greg should go around town and tag multiple landmarks with Nick Scarpino." Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't do that on my behalf. I don't like that. I will not like that. To the Extreme says, "Kevin is simply unstoppable." It's very true. We've tried. He cannot be stopped. He is like the juggernaut.
It's terrifying.
All right, Joey.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
I
It's
always
been
love
fun.
hosting this show with you. We have to make this
Agreed.
like a mainstay. You have to do
Deal.
Wednesdays now from now on.
Okay.
I want you and Andy on the show more.
Okay.
I get enough of Tim and Greg. I get enough of them.
They're just they're a lot. Then they're on Games Daily.
It's, you know what I mean? It's like, can you be on another fucking Oh, I like to make content. I like to be on Nick's show because you don't have to plan anything or be, or actually have to care. Gents and ladies out there, thanks so much for joining us. This has been another successful Kinda Funny morning show. My name is Nick Scarpino. Go over there on the Instagram, follow me, Nick_Scarpino, or on Twitter if you're not, Nick_Scarpino. Sometimes I say some fun stuff and I tweet about cool things that I do and how much I fail on a nightly basis. So maybe if that kind of thing inspires you, you can watch that or you can just make fun of me. Either way, I love you very much. Joey, thank you so much. We'll get lunch in a second. Stick around. Joey's going to read subscribers while I pee, and then Kinda Funny Games Daily is going to hit you right in the fucking head with Gary Whitta and Tim in about 5 minutes. Kevin, cut the feed.